Alright everyone, today we're going to be covering two things. One, what is going on with Bitcoin? What do I expect to happen in the next month going up to the halving? But also, got some very good news on ZKSwap Finance. Just doing a quick update on that. Let's get straight into the video. My name is Zach. Just remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Always do your own research in the cryptocurrency markets. If you want to join the Patreon, link is in the description. Secure this price for life. There are limited spaces. And apart from that, let's get straight into today's video. So today, firstly, we're going to be elaborating on the final warning video. A few people were like, it's not going to plan, but this is going exactly to plan. All right. The reason I'm saying this is we have just made a very, very small increase on our previous all-time high. I think it's like $50 or something, but still, it's a new all-time high. This is going to start spreading around social media. And all of a sudden, we had a quick flash dump. The paper hands are getting out of the market. All the geniuses that are thinking it's going back to 40 or 50K are selling their positions and taking their quote-unquote top of the bull run profits. Well, unlucky guys, you pulled out a little bit too early. What I'm thinking could play out here is we have a range, all right? We have the top of the range and the low of the range. Monday's highs have been swept, and I think we could range in this area for a bit of time until Bitcoin gains a bit of traction. Now, there's a few reasons why I think we're going to go sideways. One is because people are indecisive and don't know if we're going to go up or down. At any point in time now, it could go either way with the halving quote-unquote dump expected to happen, or a break of the new all-time high retest and that pre-halving big push on our bull run. But what I think is going to happen is people aren't going to know. So there's not going to be too many buyers or too many sellers. I think people are going to sell, and those sells are going to be bought up by institutions. And then when the price drives up, more people are going to be selling, expecting that all-time... Sorry, not that all, the pre-halving dump. That's what I was trying to get out. So basically what I think we could do is potentially range in this area. Well, that's not very good, but you get the point. Very, very bad looking range, but we could get something similar to what we had down here. All right, and this was our last altcoin season. As you can see, we made a high here, just past Monday, but we made a high, liquidated that high, broke down, made a range, played in this range for quite a bit of time, and this whole area right here was our big altcoin season. Now, if we come back up here, if we range in here, this range is almost 2 times as large. No, it's over 2 times as large than this previous range if you have a look. Which means if we consolidate sideways, more retail investors are going to come in, seeing that Bitcoin has just broken their all-time high. They're going to start investing in those next millionaire maker altcoins. I think we have alts making a very big push here if we range. We're going to need a range for about 1 week to a month, which kind of makes sense because a month away is the halving. And then we could range here for a month, potentially break out of here, have a dump around that halving back into our range, and then go off into our proper bull run. It might look something like this. We range in here for a bit. Buyers and sellers are just being bought up. Might potentially, push out here, make a new all-time high, liquidate all our shorts on here, and then maybe range down to the bottom side of the range. Eventually, we'll push up. Might retest there, have our halving dump back inside the range, push out, something like so. I mean, it's probably, it's just a rough idea what I think is going to happen. Not saying this is definitely going to happen, but I think we do see a range here. And like I said, if we range here, this altcoin season, this range is going to be astronomically larger than the previous one. And alts are going to play catch up at the current point in time. So we have a look at Bitcoin's price action, zooming out a bit. We can see that we've well surpassed our 618 on our Fibonacci, and we've actually come up to our 1 area and made that slight all-time high. Ethereum has also been pushing crazily past our 618 on the Fibonacci. Our total crypto market cap has well surpassed that, and our total 3, our altcoin market excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is lacking behind right now. So we have a lot of ground to make in a short period of time. In fact, if we get to the area that we're expecting in a short period of time, that's around $500 billion or $500 billion expected to flow into the market over the next few months into altcoins. Now, if you're positioned in the right altcoins, you will have an exceptional success. So you will have exceptional success in the cryptocurrency markets. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. We're probably going to push up to our 618 range in here potentially, then continue to push up. But it's looking very bullish because alts are going to have to play catch up. And if we range in this area right here, I'll jump back down to our 1 hour chart. This will be the catch-up period. I mean, we're probably not going to race all the way up to our total 3 all-time high, but I definitely think we're going to get to that 618, break out of that 618, and potentially start pushing to the upside. Because this is going to, like I said, range. And the reason I made that final warning video is for this exact scenario. Because if we start ranging here, alts are going to take off. and many people are going to end up buying higher. Obviously, if we dump even further, that's a different story. But if we jump into our main coins, like Tectum has held its value with a minor liquidity grab, Millionaire is holding its value right now. We had a minor dump coming back to this support area right here. I mean, AGI, OTK, they've all had quick retraces, quick stop raids, quick liquidity raids, and we're back into our main sort of areas. And when the altcoins start pushing, these are going to be distant memories. So it's looking very, very bullish in the short term for Bitcoin. Just wanted to get that out there so everyone is aware on what is going on. Let's jump into ZKSwap Finance. So you might be aware, ZKSwap Finance had their first centralized exchange listing, and it was very successful, launching on Gate.io with a lot of interest. Now, what we have here, obviously, is that little bit of a Bitcoin dump, which kind of affected the price a little bit, but really that's only like, what's that, like 10%? Maybe 20%, that's not too bad. I mean, it's expected. I mean, this dump was larger than that, and ultimately, people are holding this coin. I mean, we're holding our trends quite nicely at the current point in time. Could see something like this potentially maybe push down through here and push up, but ultimately, I think it's a bad time to sell for ZKSwap Finance. Nothing but going up in the future, and this has actually been following Bitcoin's price action very, very nicely with about a week delay behind it. So, this could range for a bit. Don't get me wrong, but if we jump into an altcoin season, now that we have that centralized exchange listing, I think this could run in tandem. The same with Reactive Fusion. We broke out of our range on RF when it loads. We're back in our range now with a nice solid wick, nice solid rejection of this previous support and resistance area. And we did push out with strength, and we can see, all right, our close is probably going to be higher than the previous closes on these other candles that we had in the past. And it's good to see these daily candles having solid rejections. We did hold out of our range with a few daily candles, but obviously we come back into the range with that Bitcoin scare. But ultimately, this is a good time to buy. It doesn't matter if it's RF, doesn't matter if it's ZF, doesn't matter if it's Tectum, Millionaire, AGI, it doesn't matter. There's awesome times to buy across the market. Limit orders. If you had limit orders set across the market, you would have had most of them hit. Obviously reasonable limit orders, but a lot of those limit orders would have actually been hit. So it's a good idea to potentially have a few limits set in case we get further spikes to the downside. You can do that with ZF now, which is awesome to see. But ultimately, I mean, I don't think we're going to be here for long. Sure, we could have a bit of a run to the downside. Well, that wasn't very accurate, to the downside. But, we have a solid area right here where there's going to be a lot of orders set. So let's jump into the actual exchange information, and what does this actually mean for the price in the future of ZKSwap Finance. So ZKSwap Finance's popularity is growing at a very rapid rate on X. I think it's a great metric to see how much interest there is in the actual project. But we're going to scroll down to our centralized exchange listing. Where is it? Bear with me one moment. Boom. All right. We have an official Gate.io listing. I don't know if this is the exact tweet, but it was a very successful launch on Gate.io. What does this mean? Well, it essentially means it's a lot easier to buy now. I would recommend you personally using the ZKSwap Finance app because you get those swap to earn rewards. However, this gets it to that larger audience. So ZKSwap Finance has extra exposure to the markets, and Gate.io is going to be an exchange that a lot of retail users essentially go to. I would like to see potentially a KuCoin or MEXC listing in the future, and they do have plans to get onto more centralized exchanges down the line, but ultimately, this is very, very bullish for me on this project, and there's so many updates they're bringing, which is just amazing to see. I mean, the ZK heat map is just awesome. What an excellent ad. They've got heaps of farming updates, new coins, new pools coming, which is awesome to see. And ultimately, it's all driven by that community, always ensuring that the voters and the community of the ZKSwap Finance project have that last say, which is really, really good to see. I mean, we can see in their roadmap the sheer amount of development that is happening with this project, and it's awesome to see. They also have the certi KYC. We're going to jump into that in just one moment, but that KYC is there. And the actual rating is exceptionally high. I'll jump into that soon. But you see, we haven't checked this off because it's not one centralized exchange listing. It's top centralized exchange listings, plural. There's more coming, guys. This is just the start for ZKSwap Finance. So much more to come in the future, which is amazing to see. So the actual audit rating, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I'll just scroll in. There we go. Our audit is an exceptional result once I've actually gone back and checked the upgrades and the refinements that they've made to the project. Our code, security, fundamentals, all of these things have just ticked every single box. And an AA rating, a double A rating with a score of 92.12 out of 100 is exceptionally high for a decentralized exchange and cryptocurrency protocol, and it essentially ensures the trust that the community can have with this project moving forward. I mean, they're in the top 10% on our coding score, and the code score is absolutely amazing. The community score is amazing. The market and governance is awesome. It's just those fundamentals, and those fundamentals are going to increase with time. I mean, this audit has already done an exceptional increase in value since their previous audit. But the main thing for me is that CertiK KYC. Here we go, right here. CertiK KYC Silver verified, which is awesome. I have been in contact with the founder, Ryan, quite a few times. Excellent guy, very, very easy to work with. Well done on this project. You have launched something very, very unique and very, very special. But ultimately, the amount of utility that they're bringing to the market is awesome, and this market cap is very, very undervalued for what they're going to have in the future. They have some excellent partnerships. That ZK heat map is awesome. You can essentially analyze. It doesn't look too overly beautiful right now, but ultimately, this is a very, very handy tool for doing your research. And we'll come back to that in just one sec, but ultimately the future is very, very bright for ZKSwap Finance. Now, if you stuck around to the end of my last video, you know I'm going to be dropping secret tips of alpha at the end of my videos from now on. And I'm going to talk about this heat map. This is an excellent tool for research, excellent tool for research in the ZK Sync ecosystem. Now, if you find out about this from this video, make sure you don't share that around. It is that competitive edge that you have on the rest of the cryptocurrency market. But essentially, we can see the entire ZK Sync ecosystem in a nutshell right in front of us, and we can use this for our research. Whether you go through each one of these projects and analyze it to find out which one suits your criteria, or which one doesn't suit your criteria, the high market caps, the mid caps, the low caps, whatever it may be, the ZK Sync heat map is an excellent tool for this. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving that like and subscribing. Also, if you want to join that Patreon, secure this price for life, make sure you check that link out in the description. And if you want to join that Crypto with Zach Discord server, the link is also in the description. I'll see you all in the next video.